A look just outside Washington at Trump National Golf Club in Sterling, Virginia, where we spoke with GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. In part two of our sit-down, we switch from policy to personality. Why does Trump take shots at the other candidates? Why does he stay up at night sending out tweets? We think you'll find it revealing. Let's look at the polls. According to the latest Real Clear Politics average, you are leading everywhere. You're leading nationally. You're leading in all the early states. Nationally, you're at 23.8%, leading, down 7 points in the last month. In Iowa, 22.3%, down 6 points. New Hampshire, 26.3%, down 6 points. Let me make it clear, because I know this is important to you. You are still leading. Why do you think your numbers have gone down?
I don't think they've gone down. I think they've gone up. We just had a Reuters poll come out. I'm at 33. We just had, as you know, Nevada come out. I'm 20 points ahead of second place. We had one come out in South Carolina where I'm 18 or 20 points ahead. The polls have been now better than they've ever been. And what you're doing is a little bit obsolete information. But that's okay. Look, I'm leading in everything.
Late this week, you forced, I think it's fair to say, you and Ben Carson forced CNBC to change the ground rules for their debate. And Carly Fiorina went after you and Carson. She said, first of all, what are they scared about standing up for 3 hours? And then she said this.
They also apparently asked for prepared statements. You know, prepared statements are what politicians do. So honestly, here are two outsiders, supposedly, Donald Trump and Ben Carson. They sound a lot like politicians tonight to me.
Look, first of all, she's going nowhere. You talk about dropping in the polls. She's dropped like a rock. I could stand there for 12 hours. I could stand there for 20 hours. But the people can't take it. Who wants to watch a debate for 3 hours? I couldn't watch Hillary for an hour and a half. And when I heard it was a 3-hour debate that was only done to make more money for the company, for the network, I said I'm not going to participate because I thought the CNN debate was ridiculous. It was too long, and people were turning off. Who's going to watch a debate that long? You know, it used to be 1 hour when it started. It used to also get no ratings, and both CNN and Fox broke the all-time record on cable television. So I wonder why. Do you have any idea why?
I think maybe it was because of the moderators.
I think so. I do. I think so. Great
moderators. Which brings me to the question of temperament, which I think you would agree is important.
I think it's very important.
In a president.
Right.
First of all, what's the deal with the tweets? Why are you sitting there at night watching TV and tweeting out?
Well, I think it's fine. It's a great way of getting my word out. I love Twitter and tweeting, and I have, between that and Facebook, I have like 10 million followers. It's a great way. You know, now if you do something bad to me, I can tweet about Chris, and the world will be seeing it.
And you have.
No, and you know what? Truthfully, it's an amazing way of getting the word out.
But does Mrs. Trump ever say, Donald, turn off the TV, come to bed?
Oh, I don't do that much, and usually it's not too late. No, I just think it's an amazing way. You know, we're in a modern age now. We have to get with it. It's Twitter and Facebook and all of this stuff is, to me, I mean, it's for some reason, I'm probably not the youngest person using it, but for some reason it works very well. I'm, you know, setting records. In fact, for the debate, you know, I'm talking about the Democrat debate, and they use Democratic. It's really Democrat. You know that, okay? They called it wrong. It's really the Democrat. But the Democrat debate, I picked up more followers by many times than anybody else. And there were those that said I won the debate because I picked up all the followers. But no, I think it's a great modern way of getting the word out.
During the campaign, you have called Marco Rubio a puppet, Jeb Bush low energy, Rand Paul a lightweight, and just this week you called Bernie Sanders a maniac.
And a communist.
And a communist. Do you think that's presidential? Is that the way you would act in the White House?
Look, I'm running against a lot of people, and they come out and attack me very viciously, very viciously. I mean, Perry, I thought he was a nice guy. He was always a friend of mine. He had won campaign contributions. He was always very nice. All of a sudden, boom, I hit him very hard. I hit Rand Paul very hard. Look what happened to him. I'm a counterpuncher. I don't have a choice. If you look at what they say about me, it's terrible. I mean, they say terrible things about me. Bobby Jindal, you talk about lightweights. This guy's a real lightweight. And he hit me. I don't even know this man. And he hit me because, and they're not hitting me on fact, they're hitting me in order to try and pick up something in their polls. The thing I'm most honored about is every single person that went after me, including Jeb Bush, who's down, boom. Every single person that went after me has gone way down. And I'm very honored by that. And that's what the country needs. The country needs a leader that when the country gets hit, we're going to come out on top, not keep going down, because we're going down. Our country is going down.
Then I want to bring up the subject, hear me out, of you and me.
Okay.
During the debate, I asked you a question about bankruptcies.
Right.
And you, I thought, gave a fine answer.
First of all, these lenders aren't babies. These are total killers. You know, I mean, you're living in a world of the make-believe, Chris. You want to know the truth.
I thought it was my best answer.
Then, for about a week, you go after me. You say, blood's pouring out of my eyes. You compare me unfavorably to my father. And I agree, he's one of a kind. Here's the question. You're running for president. I mean, we talked to Chris Christie about Bridgegate. We talked to Carly Fiorina about
Destroying a company.
about
she destroyed her company.
Okay, I guess the question
No, it's
is,
not personal.
are you a little thin-skinned?
No, I'm only thin-skinned when somebody says bad things that are false. For instance, if you hit me about something that's true, all right, the bankruptcy, I use that as a tool. I didn't ever file for bankruptcy. Out of hundreds and hundreds
was
of
just a
deals, I've done it
question.
4 times. I've used it 4 times.
But it was just a question.
No, I know, but the way it was phrased. The way it was phrased. I could see the eyes, okay?
I don't even know
The
what
way it
blood's
was
coming out of
but
my eyes.
I've used it as a tool brilliantly. And it was phrased incorrectly, in my opinion, the question. And you wouldn't have asked these people about bankruptcy, but you asked me about, and I've used it brilliantly.
I asked Carly Fiorina about Hewlett
And
Packard.
honestly, well, that's easy. She destroyed the company. Okay, that one's an easy one. So I'm not thin-skinned when something's truthful. If I did something wrong, and you said I did something, I can handle that. And if the press is bad, it's when people hit me when I didn't do anything wrong. You know, it's like then it's not a question of thin skin. I will fight back.
You say my father covered you in a much fairer manner. So I decided to go back and look at your first profile on 60 Minutes. He talked a lot about your successes, but he also talked about the fact you were in a controversy then. The allegation was that you were trying to throw middle-class people out of a rent-controlled building so you could create condos for rich people. Here's a clip.
When they call you arrogant and cruel, those tenants over there, does that get under your skin?
No, because you see, I think I'm right, and when I think I'm right, nothing bothers me.
First of all,
Well, I've been doing this for a long time.
First of all, whatever happened to that nice, soft-spoken young man?
I know.
Was that a fair
I'm very
question
proud
for
of
him
it.
to ask
I
you?
thought it was a fair, because it was very controversial at the time, and I thought it was fair.
Not to press my luck, but true or false, you at one point considered and tried to put homeless people in some of those apartments to force the tenants to move out.
No, I talked about doing it, and I talked about doing it as a charity. That's right. We have a thing called
charity?
I was thinking about doing that, and I would have done that, and it would have been nice, and it would have been charitable. But you have wealthy people living and paying like $200 rent on Fifth Avenue or Central Park South. I think it's unfair, and it's been proven to be unfair.
Finally, Hillary Clinton testifies before the House Benghazi Committee this week. What is it you would like to find out about both her role in Benghazi and about her emails?
I think things will be revealed. Personally, I think that Hillary was one of the worst, if not the worst. I mean, if you look at the record, Secretary of States ever in this country. I think that's the bigger problem that she's got. I don't think Benghazi's as big a problem for her as her past and what's happened. The world blew up around her. You look at the world, it just blew up around her. Everything went bad, whether it's Libya, whether it's her tenure in Iraq, and there's been plenty of bad tenures having to do with Iraq because of the length. Things that happened during her tenure were a disaster. I think she's probably going to go down as the worst Secretary of State in the history of this country. And I think that will be what I will tell you. That will be what I will be campaigning on. Now, what's going to happen with Benghazi will be very interesting. I look forward to it.
If you end up as the Republican nominee and she's the Democratic nominee, how would you take her on?
I'd take her on tough. I'd just take her on her record. I'd discuss her record. I think her record is abysmal. And I would take her on her record.
Mr. Trump?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. Great honor.